value from new theme. Right, so it keeps that, and then here in Alacrity, this is gonna be interesting here because it's gonna be this entire object, isn't it? So what is this? This is technically font family. So new font family. Font family value. There we have theme here. This is going to be font family. Okay, so we have item value, font family value. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be quite that easy. Also, Zilby's done. Okay, so this is going to be actually a little bit more difficult. Because I need to know how to get a nested object, don't I? Do I want to do something? Oh, maybe I just do something like this. Right, object key equals val. Object key equals val. Wait, where am I getting that? What I'm wondering is, do I want to do it slightly different in here? Do a format. Like where I do format. This. Oh, this is gonna be so unhappy. So I have to /u /u u /u. I wonder if it would be okay with that. No, that avoids the point of toml edit. Okay, so where's the object of key though? I'm confused about where that goes. Cause like we get or I guess like okay, so hold on. Insert theme font family. And so that looks like yeah, so theme is just that. So insert theme, and so now it's not gonna be theme anymore. Now it's gonna be oh, it's under the font section. And we didn't even have the font section before. I need to learn how to do that. What is this called? This is toml edit. Look at the example with the, yeah, okay, so for these, right? So we have doc. Okay, so after we parsed it, we have doc. Interesting, okay. Yeah, so it does implement the index traits. That's nice. Okay, so if I want font here, so family value, new font family. Insert. The key is would it be no insert? There's no documentation here for making changes to it though, right? Oh, let's add a new key value pair. There is. Oh, an ad break started. Sorry about that. Oh, okay. So just config font. Okay. Oh, so we just do that. Interesting. That feels easier than what I had to do when it doesn't have a section, does it? So we do config of font. Is it font family equals yeah, okay. So font normal family. Font normal family equals font family. Then we save it. Oh, I could have done config font equals font family. But I have to set this up here first, right? To work with the, yeah, because a new font family is just a string of just the name of the font family. You meant in the last one. Also, you're upset. No field normal and type item. Okay, I have to do like this, right? Normal family. Oh, for the other project, yeah, probably. Save the config. We do that. Reload. I don't need a reload config for this one. Announce config changed. New font family. No, I could do a user in this one. I kind of want to like create another project for just saying things out loud. Okay, so we do that. Load config. Opening config file. Read a string. Save config. Okay. We're not doing you. So instead of new config, we'll just do new font. Okay. Your brain appears to have melted. It is Monday, so it's totally understandable. My brain melts every day. Although it doesn't just happen on Monday, but just, is it a day that ends with Y? My brain will melt sometime during it. Okay. So we have you. Theoretically, this will work now. No errors, no warnings. So let's try running this. So if I cargo run and I pass it in a new font, so what's a font name? We do Menlo.
Changing Alacrity font to Menlo.
Hey, and that actually changed our font to Menlo, which is absolutely terrible. Hey, it works. Okay, cool. So let's bring us back to that.
Changing Alacrity font to Iasevka.
Much better. Okay, so this now hands into you. Change font. So first off, I need a cargo toml. We're going to do change Alacrity font. It keeps on like going back and forth between this thing doesn't exist when it totally does exist, and we've used it. We got a print line out of it. Okay, so we do that, and then we're going to change Alacrity font. So run you. Config path. Okay, so this is going to be where the configuration file is. And this is in our config. So I want a pub Alacrity font config path. I can probably actually do the impl path here, right? Like if it impulls into path, but then we're going to turn it into a path buff. So then, oh, I would hope that would work. Maybe it's just upset at me because there's other errors. Oh, weird. What? Oh, okay. So you don't. Oh, this would be an into. Ah, okay. I was hoping that would work, but no, it has to be an asref. Okay, so asref. So instead of into, we do an asref. Why not into path buff? Can I do into path buff? Let's try it. My brain clearly is turning into mold, into path buff, because I'm changing the wrong things around. Okay, so I do that. Alacrity, font path, into there. Okay, okay. So then if we go into our main, and then, okay, our alacrity font, so this is users, Berserker, config, alacrity, font.toml. Okay. Yeah, I think that's much better. I like that more. All right, so if we rerun you, all right, I think that's working. So now I believe that we can now do it. So if I do a change terminal font to, what's a terminal font we can use? We just do Menlo again. Keep on forgetting it. Wrong keyboard. Menlo. Huh, that didn't change the font to Menlo. I got this, Berserker changing the font to Menlo, so that part worked. Wait, did I not actually do the thing? I didn't do the thing. Lib hasn't been saved because you're not actually doing the thing. Oops. We have config dot that. And then you are the new font family. So this would be font for you, except you want that. Context, changing font. Okay. Ooh, value move. Oh, I don't want to move the value. Do you take a, what do you take? Oh, asref. So you could just do that. Okay, good. Now, let's try it again. Change the terminal font. Let's go to Menlo.
Changing Alacrity font to Menlo.
And it's as terrible as we remember. And then back to Ayazveka. Okay, so I want to remove a bunch of my custom ones, so it's just these fun ones. Okay, so this is gonna be Ayazveka or Evka, something like that.
Changing Alacrity font to Ayasevka.
There we go. That's good. And so now I want to go back to channel points. Manage. Okay, so custom rewards. So I'm gonna just start deleting a bunch of the old ones that I have. I'm not using them anymore. And that way, it's just the ones. Okay, so change terminal font and change Helix theme. Default rewards. I don't think I need highlight my message on right now because like I can read every chat message. I think that's fine. The unlock random sub emote, I think that's good. Let's see. Okay, so just those. All right, so that should be much easier. Yeah, that's much easier to find and deal with for the rewards and challenges. I consider creating an enum of the allowed fonts. It might be redundant to parse from a string and back again, but at least you can validate the inputs. Yeah, that might be good too. It won't break the terminal. So here, if I choose something random, so like let's say we do change terminal font, and I just say blah blah,
Changing Alacrity font to blah blah.
but that doesn't exist, and so it just switched it to Menlo here, and so we're in Menlo until it gets, at least that way works. But I totally get what you mean. That would be a good idea. And then of course I could like basically just refuse to switch it and add it. Is there a way, is there an API to the font book so I can see the fonts?
Changing Alacrity font to Ayasevka.
If I could figure out what the valid fonts that I have are. Okay, so is there something here? Can I do like font restore? There's no like font book, right? Not really. I can just open up the font book for all fonts. Can I get a list of these as a single, as just the name of it? Because I think that would work, right? If I just get a full list of these. I can't really select that. Can't really select that. It's a bit unfortunate. There's got to be something that that you can do because a lot of programs will list the fonts that you can use. Oh, I have a lot of fonts that I don't even have downloaded. Okay, let's download all these fonts. There's so many fonts. Okay, so maybe this is a Google question. Let's see. List fonts available. Mac font book. That's not really what I want. Okay, there's system profiler XML. Ooh, let me try running that in another window. System profiler. Oh, that gives it to me in XML format. What format normally does it give it to me? Ooh, and there's autocomplete too. So FEF. Oh. FPF fonts data type. It's taking a really long time to run. There it goes. Okay, so I did get. Okay, so for system profiler, I could have it output XML, JSON. By default, it's plain text. I can also do, okay, I could do detail level mini. So detail level mini. Oh, if I do, you go with a manual list of known good fonts. Oh, that. Well, I guess like if I can find Ausveka in here, then it's good, right? So if I pipe to ripgrep Iosevka, this takes a long time to run. It did not find it. Okay. Yeah, you're right. This is not an accurate list. I think that's like maybe system fonts that like originally come with the system, but not fonts that we've added since then. So you're right. I think we should go with a manual list. I am really curious. This is a terrible idea, but I have Wingdings installed. What happens if we try to change the font to Wingdings? How bad is that? It shouldn't like actually break anything. Let's try it out.
Changing Alacrity font to Wingdings.
It works. It actually works pretty well. And because I'm only changing, this is much easier to read now. Yeah, I mean, very true. This looks surprisingly good.
Changing Alacrity font to Iasevka.
Okay, so the next thing to do would be to come up with a list of fonts that are legal and allowed to put in here. And I would have to do this from this font book, which has 354 fonts available for it, which is not fun because I can't copy and paste from them, which is, I don't like that. I can copy and paste from here, but that would be like one at a time where I select it and like copy and paste out. But I do like the idea of supporting all the fonts in here because it's just hilarious to have people be able to switch it to like a font that's not great. This might be one of those things where I'll just do off stream. Okay, so let's try this. If we create like the base of it. So where am I gonna put this? CD into source. Maybe like allowed or font allowed fonts. As long as you increase the redemption amount, otherwise my 150k point says you won't have a very productive day with wingdings. Well, that's very true. That's very true. If it gets really bad, I'll limit the number of times you can do it per day. But I do also want like there to be some like fun times in here. If it comes down to it, we'll have to like implement some other systems, and like I can always turn it off temporarily if it becomes a problem. It would be, it would be really nice if Twitch would allow us to incrementally change the cost of a redemption every time that it's used. So if I could say like, okay, it starts at 1K, but use a Fibonacci sequence to increase the cost every time it's used, and then reset it once per month or once per week or once per stream or something like that. So that way it can get like prohibitively expensive really fast. And of course, I have infinite channel points, so I can always just switch it back to whatever I want. Oh, but we could do some other cool things because I can like detect. All right, so here's another question. For the change alacrity font, is this where I put the fonts? Or do I put the allowed fonts in the stream manager? Like who gets to know what the fonts are and if I'm going to use them or not? If the stream manager knows what it is, stream manager could do something like, okay, this is the font we're doing. It's wingdings. Therefore, I'm going to like do a timeout and then reset the font again in 5 minutes. or something like that, or in 1 minute. There's some interesting fun things we can do with that. I have to make a decision about like who owns it, so I can like then say like, oh, it's readable or not. All right, ad break starts in 1 minute. What do you all think? Who should own this? Who should own the font list? They change the Alacrity font or the stream manager? I'm thinking that the stream manager owns the font list because then I can put metadata in there, including like if it's readable or not. But I'm not sure. No idea. Yeah, me neither. Okay, so let's just throw it into the change alacrity font right now, and it will own this for now, and then we might have to update that later. Okay, so all right, ad break just started. Sylvie didn't decide to come back magically, so that's too bad. I keep on looking over to see if maybe he snuck in, but he has not. Okay, allowed fonts. So if I have a pub enum allowed font, and so we do Asveka, oh, you know what? I almost want to do something like this where you have like a pub struct font. And then this will have name string readable or usable, which is a boolean. And then each of these would be like Ayosveka allowed, wouldn't be an enum anymore. We'd have a struct like these, and then I probably just have a constant. Can I do a constant? So const allowed fonts. We have vector of font. So let's do can I just do static stir here? What's the last one that I did? I did wingdings. You know, it'd be really nice also if I could do a channel point request where it's a choice. Like you can choose which one to do. Otherwise, it's way like I have way too many fonts for one channel point request per one. That's not fun. Okay, so this is wingdings like that. This would be usable false. Not allowed in constants. Okay, that's too bad. And I can't do this in. I could just have a function. So pub function. Okay, so I can create. I can create this list of allowed fonts that has like the name and the usable on it. And if it's not usable, then I would want to change to a different font afterwards. So if I do something like back to library here. Okay, so I have the new font family. This gives me all the fonts. How would I want to create this? Maybe I don't even have a vector of allowed fonts. Maybe we just do the enum. I like maybe we'll just do the enum. So it'll just be a pub enum allowed font. Now we can have true or false based upon if it's allowed or not. And I could even do this as a anonymous struct like this. Usable. True. You're a Boolean. Okay, so if we take in the font, so the name of the font, okay, so we match the name. So we have that'll be a self Azureca usable true. Can I automate a poll or channel point prediction with random fonts to let chat pick and listen to the output? I probably could. I probably could. The other thing that we can do, and maybe this one would be a lot more for like a lot better for something like this. We could set up the font to revert back after 10 minutes. And then I can also, we can have the font revert back after 10 minutes, and we can have a limit for the number of times that the font change can be done per day, per stream. Maybe we can say something like it can be done once per hour, once every 2 hours, something like that. It could be done 4 times per stream total. And we can make it really expensive because nobody's had anything to spend channel points on recently. So as you said, you have like 150,000 points. So if I do that, then I want to, we make the change. I don't actually care about the allowed fonts or not. That none of this actually makes any sense anymore. Because then what I really want to do is save the previous font. Like I load up the config. If I have previous font family, so I do config font family, like that. Oh, config normal family. That gives me an item here. So we have the previous font family. We save the new one. We announce this to be changed. I then wait for 10 minutes. I could do a thread and have it wait for 10 minutes. What is it? Thread sleep? Isn't there like a sleep under thread? Yeah, thread sleep. Duration. Isn't there like a from minutes, or is it always from seconds? From, okay, from secs. How many seconds do we want to do? 60 seconds in a, okay, 60 seconds in a minute times how many minutes? Let's do 1 minute to begin with. So I sleep for 1 minute, and then I want to config font normal family equals the previous font family. And then we save the config again. I don't know why I did that. Why do I have to do toString Esther? Okay, so reverting. What are you upset about? Cannot move out of index item. Move occurs. Oh, um, I lose it, so I probably need to clone it. Okay, so now if I run this, let's do Wingdings.
Changing Alacrity font to Wingdings.
We'll wait 1 minute and see whether or not it reverts it. I didn't actually check the time of when we started, so I'm not exactly sure when to expect it. I think maybe another 30 seconds or so. Hey, look at that. And it came back. Okay. Nice. So then, okay. So to make this a little bit better, we're doing this line twice. So I kind of wanted another function here to just change the config, right? So function, do I want that? Or does that even make sense? Change the font family, save the config. Now it's config changed. Sleep a little bit. Change the config again to the previous one. I guess it makes sense to just put in here. It's like a script, basically. Save the config again. And then I want another. Okay, so if I do a announce config changed again, new font family, this is the previous one. So borrow a move value because you got moved here. Okay. I kind of want to just repeat this function as a reverting announcement. Okay, so if we do that, now if we run this again, put ourselves in
Changing
Wingdings.
Alacrity font to Wingdings.
Now in 1 minute, it will announce that like, hey, that was nice, but let's go back. And I think this will kind of, okay, so if I pair this with the limited number of times that people can do this, it makes it much better and much safer for me.
Okay, that was nice, but back to our previous font.
There we go. Nice. All right, so then the last thing to do here would be to go to channel point, viewer rewards. Okay, so custom channel points, change terminal font. I want, okay, so redemption cooldown time. Ooh, okay, so I have a choice here. I can do a cooldown time, so up to 7 days between when you can do this, or we can do limit redemptions per stream. Actually, it's like this is an and/or. I can do both, all of the above. So I could do something like we can do this once per hour. We can do this at most 4 times per stream. And on top of that, only one person at a time. Okay, there we go. So now, Esitsu, if you wanted to just change the font, you can do it once per stream yourself. But it can be done a total of 4 times, but it requires 4 different people to do it, and it can only be done once per hour. So I think that would work nicely. Now, right now, we have it only lasting for 1 minute. I think we can, with those limitations, we could definitely increase it up a little bit and make it, let's see. Where did I put that? Where's my time? Right here. So this duration, let's do this as a constant. First off, I don't need the allow font anymore. So this is going to be change font direction. Change font duration.